October was honestly really busy. This was like a travel heavy month, but I feel like life has a funny way of squeezing lessons in no matter what you're doing. Hello, hello. I have my latte, hot with oat milk to go and half sweet pumpkin. This place is my favorite. It's called Drip Drop Cafe. Oh, happy Halloween. Okay, let's jump right in. Starting with reflecting on October. My first goal was to move my body again, and I didn't get to this one, but I found a connection who is going to bring me into a run club. So the intention is there. I mean, I do a lot of walking. I will be joining a run club soon. And it was such a coincidence because this was someone that I met through like the Miami trip that I went to a few weeks ago. And shit, it's one good thing that came out of it, right? And like, I'm a little intimidated because she was like, yeah, this guy's like running the marathon and everything. And I was like, how does he treat like a 20-minute mile? The second one, I wanted to try a new activity or experience. I honestly think there were a few in there. The first one that jumps to my mind though is when I went to that like listening cafe pop-up in Brooklyn. It was so cool. I never gone to like that kind of event before. What I've learned about myself is that it's really inspiring for me to see other artists like execute on their vision. So to like see that and experience that through one of my friends is like super, super empowering for me. The pop-up was at this cafe. Basically, you could sign up for a time slot with like just by yourself or like you and someone else. And then you could like pick off a menu of sounds. The medium of this was like vinyl records. So me and my other friends picked like this like upbeat, energetic type sound. And then we like listened through like different albums on the vinyl records together and drank coffee. The third one is have a really cute costume. Today's Halloween, so I wasn't able to like film it. I'll add some like footage in later, but I'm gonna be an angel, pretty on brand for me. I got like a little halo. I think I'm gonna wear my my white slip dress that I wore to Vegas. I do like cute like white eyeshadow with like sparkles. We're going to my roommate's friend's house party in Friday. I don't really know what to expect. Tomorrow there's also another house party with this girl that I met through the co-working space from like last month. It's just a weekend of me not knowing anybody, but that's like the best case scenario because like you literally never know who you could meet here. October themes. The first one has to be about last minute changes to your plans. I made a whole video about this. Ever since then, like I've been so consciously aware of making better decisions for myself, especially when they're last minute, just like really tuning into like how I feel about the plans. In the video, I talk about like not changing plans last minute for a guy. But it's the same principle, like, no matter what plan it is. No matter if it's like, oh, you're too tired for something, or like, oh, you have a deadline to finish, or like, this wasn't something you were really excited about. Really just like listening to myself before making the plans has never, ever failed me. I think that is a lesson that's going to keep like resonating with me throughout like the rest of my life. I think like listening to my intuition has been like a skill I've practiced like throughout the year. But this month especially has like been where I've like put that out into practice. I'm on the spot. I'm making decisions and I'm either regretting them or feeling good about them. So, okay, the second theme is I wrote down friendship audits, but like I don't really know how to phrase this. I think this month has taught me a lot about just being really mindful of who I surround myself with. It really is true that you are who your friends are. Like you are truly the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with or talk to. It's something that honestly sneaks up on you because you literally don't even realize it, but you just become the people you're with seamlessly. I'm like going through a friendship breakup right now and it really, really sucks, but this isn't like the first one I've had. I've gone through a lot of friendship breakups in my life, and when I was talking to my friend about it, I'm like, am I crazy? Like, why am I going through a period of like losing so many friends? It's not even just this year, but like it's years before. And she's like, I know it seems like you're just like only losing people in your life and only cutting people out, but you have to realize that outgrowing friendships is an indicator of your growth, and you can't fault yourself for not being the same person you were when you first met them. It's made me like realize like, yeah, I have gone through a lot of change in the last 5 years. Like genuinely, I've gone through so much change since 2020, and that's helped me kind of like make sense of like all the loss I've dealt with in my life. And then also she was like, when you were in Chicago, like you weren't really in a period of wanting to make new friends. Like that wasn't that season for you. And I was like, you're right. that's this season for me. Like, that's New York for me. And so kind of like what my goal is for here and beyond is to like, I want to make new friendships that like really do align with the person that I want to be, whether it's related to goals, character. I've done a lot of like shedding of my skin, and I'm ready to see what New York brings. This also kind of like reminds me of this like one little activity that I saw this TikTok, and he basically says that like you need to surround yourself with people who you admire. And a really good way to figure that out is to think about like who kind of triggers you. Like, this sounds kind of weird, but when you're triggered by something from someone, it means that like you envy and admire that quality about them. What I did last night was like write down the people in my life that I'm envious of and think about like what those qualities are, and that has helped me reflect on like who I want to become one day, and really also like the people I should be communicating with more and like really developing that friendship with. Because like, again, you have to put the reps in friendships. You could think like, oh, like I'll text them tomorrow or like next week, but that turns into a month, and it turns into a year, and it turns into 10 years, and all that time goes by. So that is like something that's really helped me. For instance, like one of my cousins and my friend from college, what I really admire about them is their discipline, their lifestyle, their kindness, their optimism on life. For my other friend, I really admire her kind heart. I wrote down for her kindness, nurturing, and loving, and patience. When I think of her, I'm so envious of the way she's able to keep so many close friends in her life and like truly love every single one of them through and through. Like, I want to open my heart up at that level, and like I really, really admire having someone like that in my life. And so like when I look at this list, I'm like, okay, like these are the qualities I'm striving towards. But then also I'm like, okay, well, there's some names that I talk to more frequently than people on here that didn't make it on this list. And so that is also a really good indicator for me to like, okay, am I people pleasing? Like, are these genuine connections that I want to invest time in? And then lastly, product of the month has to be my nightstand. This was actually like a buzzer beater item. I picked this thing up like earlier this week, and it's the cutest nightstand of all time. I'm doing more investing of my room, which is what I said I would do. Like, I wanted something that was like glass but had like gold detailing, delicate, chic feel to it. I'm actually gonna organize after this, so I'll show you guys. And then later today, I'm gonna make my mood board and go through the intentions I have for November. Hello. I took a little bit of a nap and I feel so much better. I think I really needed that, to be honest. Okay, let me do some more reflecting and then mood boarding before I have to get ready for tonight. So I'm gonna wait for my hair to dry while I do this. What is on the calendar for November? I am not traveling at all. So I wanted to form my goals around the fact that like I was staying local this month. My first goal for November is to enjoy the fall foliage. Like, apparently New York is iconic for fall foliage, and like I should know this, I'm from New England, but I guess I've just never really enjoyed it in the park setting. Because like in Soho, it's very robust, I guess. It's not like financial district robust, but there's not a lot of greenery. And so I think that's what I'm envious of with my friends who live in like Upper East Side. They have Central Park, and I'm so jealous. Like, I wish I could add like Central Park in my lifestyle and like my day-to-day. Hopefully one day. Also, there's so many more dogs up there, and like I want to meet someone with a dog. Which is so crazy because in Chicago, I was like, oh, I could never date someone with a dog. Like, that's a deal breaker for me. But like, I don't know, I feel like it's always the things that I look down on that I actually am drawn towards. And like, this is not the first example of that. I can talk about that in another video, but like everything I'm like a hater towards, I end up always gravitating towards it, and it ends up always being part of my storyline. So I'm wondering if like that's just a way that I'm like naturally manifesting stuff in my life, which is so odd. I won't get into that right now, but like my first intention for November is to enjoy the fall foliage and just to like really embrace fall in New York. And then my second goal is to do something crafty. Two things I have in mind are like either watercoloring in the park or pottery. Like, there's this art cafe in Lower East Side that I've really wanted to check out, so I might do that in one of the weekends. But also there's this one like really cute watercoloring book I bought. Like, look at how cute this book is. Oh my gosh. Oh, scrapbooking memorabilia. Okay, so I picked this up at this really cute stationery store with my friend, and it has like all of these really cute like pre-drawn sketches of like what the thing is, and then it tells you with all the colors you have to use, and then even like instructions to guide like while you're painting. Like there's this really cute cupcake one, this mixer, low-key like not that cute, but whatever. Cookies, like are you serious? It's so fall. This would be literally perfect for November. I love it because it brings me back to Chicago when I poured a lot of my grief out through painting. Like my dad took it up as a hobby because painting is something my mom loved to do, and my dad took it up as a hobby, and like it really inspired me to try it when I was like in my, re-exploration era. I bought like a set of acrylics online, and then I just painted, and my first painting honestly turned out really well. I found this one YouTuber who does really, really good tutorials. Haven't picked it back up, and also because my space is like literally so tiny. Like I could literally paint on the floor, but one, the lighting sucks, and two, I'd have to like pack up shop as soon as I was like taking a break because I wouldn't be able to like walk around my room. But hopefully with watercolors it's different because it's just like less tools I have to work with. I think also I've always kind of like strayed away from watercolors because I have like memories as a kid in like kindergarten doing watercolors and being so stressed out because like the colors would go everywhere. I think that was my villain origin story with like perfectionism. I just didn't have control of like where the paint was going, so I hated doing it. But maybe this is going to be an activity to kind of break from that trauma. And yeah, I'm really excited to try this out. This is super cute. So that's my second goal in November. And then my third one is to say yes to something spontaneous. Where I was getting at with this one was like, since I'm staying local this month, I'm opening up so much more opportunity to go with the flow. I think traveling is spontaneous in a different way. You kind of are planning to go somewhere and like the environment is shaping what the activities could look like. But I feel like with New York, I haven't really given it a chance because I've been like kind of like traveling out and about. The last two spontaneous things I did were like gallery hopping. I met that like art collectors club, and then having that like photo shoot. That was so cool, and I actually might hang out with him in November. So those two examples were so New York, and they were probably some of the most life-changing experiences I've had since being here. So I think I want to put myself in more situations where I can like run into randomness and invite more of that spontaneity. So my goal for November is to say yes to a spontaneous off-brand plan and see where that goes. So yeah. And I think with that, like, it comes with what precedes that is me putting myself in like new situations. That means I have to like go out and do stuff to like invite the spontaneity. I can't just be like sitting around waiting for something to like fall into my lap. What I've learned recently is that you have to be the one that goes out and creates the opportunity for that. And this kind of brings me back to this other theme that I learned in October. I was actually going to use it for my second theme, but I decided against it. I watched this movie called The Truman Show, and it honestly changed my life. I don't know if any of you have watched it before. It's an older movie. This is truly such a timeless movie, and it kind of gives me like George Orwell vibes. Like that's kind of like the lasting power I see with this movie. Basically, it's about this guy who his whole life is on like this TV set, and he doesn't know, like essentially like he was taken in by a corporation when he was born, and like they decided to like use him as an experiment, which is like so fucked up. But the story, essentially, I won't spoil it, but one of the quotes in there that has really stuck out with me has been, I think there's like a part in the movie where someone's like interviewing like the corporation and is like, how do you respond to criticism about like this being super inhumane? Like what you're doing is so inhumane. And he's like, well, it's not inhumane because Truman chooses to stay in his own cell. Like, there's a way for him to escape. He just isn't looking for it. By the end of the movie, like he goes and like looks for it and like finds it. It just kind of made me think about the different cells that I choose to stay in my own life and how like there truly is an exit door to every situation. I just have to go looking for it. And so that kind of brings me back to like the stuff that I'm doing to like make changes in my own career, you know, building my own creative portfolio, like going out and doing the field research, going out and doing the work. There is an exit door, but I'm choosing to stay in my own cell. And until I do something about it, my life is going to be the same. Yeah, I just wanted to share that quick little tangent. But so that is my intent for November. I have a good feeling about this next month, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. So with that, I'm gonna start making my mood board for November. Honestly, I've like really enjoyed these like monthly mood boards. It's just way easier to stay accountable. Like before I started doing this, I used to just believe in like yearly vision boards. That's really hard because it doesn't account for the fact that like your life can change at any time, any moment, and like holding yourself accountable to something can kind of like make it worse whenever you go through a life situation. Like you're looking at something that was once part of your life plan, but like it falling apart. I don't know. I didn't really struggle with that. Well, I did struggle with that when I like entered this new year and like I had a vision board and everything, and like everything kind of fell apart. It took me a while to like even take down my vision board because I noticed that I was like subconsciously like still holding myself accountable and like pressuring myself to still pursue these goals that like no longer fit in my life. And that was kind of toxic, but when I decided to move to New York, I had a chance to like reclaim that for myself and build a new life in a new plan and like repurpose my old vision into something that was more fitting. So yeah, okay, let's make November. So if you don't know how to do this, you just go to pinterest.com, and then all you have to do is go to this plus sign that says create and then select collage. So now I get to make a collage using the pins that I pinned for November's intentions. This is so cool. Like you're able to see exactly what pins I got these pictures from, and you can make your own. Okay, so that is my mood board for next month, and I'm really excited. I just have a good feeling about November. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know, give me a thumbs up, and let me know if you guys are manifesting anything for this month too.